His people, which he foreknew.
Which he knew from before. Which he foreknew, because that's his people. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the Most High's people. That's his fervent lover. So he's not going to cast them away. They are joined unto him. Alright, so he's here today. The Most High opened a place of repentance, a gate for the Israelites that believe to come back in. Go ahead.
The Most High have not cast away his people, which he foreknew. Wrote he not what the scripture said of Elias? How he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel? Saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets, and take down thy altar. And I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what said the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed their knees to the image of Baal.
Yeah, so the Most High have a plan B. You understand? The Most High had a plan in store. Forget them two-thirds. Forget them niggas who trying to kill the prophets. They're going to be destroyed. You see, these men here that are reserved, that is the plan. That is the plan out of this place. The elect. Like I had a dream a time back. And a time back, I had a dream. I remember someone was telling a police officer, say 144,000 is your bail. These elect men is our bail out of this hellhole. Alright, these elect men, when they are walking, when they come out on the highways and hedges and do this work, that is the rescuing of the nation of Israel. Alright, because through these men, the nation of Israel is going to be rebuilt. Right. Alright, and the Most High put heads around these men to ensure that that is fulfilled.
I guess so.
Well,
Revelation chapter 7 verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascended from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to earth, the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Right, so don't bring that destruction yet until these men see. Alright? So you don't want none of these men to be destroyed because they are part of that plan of salvation, that plan of deliverance in the nation of Israel. Alright, the stars that I show is the elect. Alright, World War III is to come, yes. Martial law is to come. Alright, but these things ain't going to happen until the elect men are sealed. Like that. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Of who?
The children of Israel.
Of the children of Israel. Alright, so the elect in Revelation, or the elect of God, is 144,000 men of the nation of Israel. The rest of the nations are included in that. Alright, because salvation not to the rest of the nation. They don't need saving. Alright, salvation is to the Israelites, the ones that are in captivity, the ones that are going through hardcore bondage. Somebody can get the book of Luke chapter 4 and verse 18. Alright, because this book, the message in this book, is by a people for a specific people.
Luke 4 and verse 18. And it reads, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel.
Right, so you're appointed us to preach the gospel unto the poor. What is the gospel? The gospel is the good news. Salvation is to the elect, to Israelites, the good news. And we're not going to always be under these nations. These nations are not going to always look down on us. That is the good news. That there's going to be an end to all the suffering. Alright, so going on to highlight who the gospel is for. Go ahead.
That's right, sir.
He has sent.
When?
Right? It says, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captive, and recovery of sight to the blind.
And recovery of sight to the blind, and to bring deliverance to the captive. And who is that people today? But the scripture says, who is blind but my servant? You know, in the book of Luke chapter 3 verse 8, they are yet this day in our captivity. These Western nations, they're free. They can do as they will. They can establish the franchises, the businesses. They're excelling in this world. You know, the police now in their case. As the scripture says in Psalm 73, they are not in trouble as other men. Neither are they plagued as other men. So the gospel, the message of the gospel of salvation and deliverance is to the nation of Israel, starring the elect. That is what it's all about. About the elect of the nation of Israel. Somebody can get Luke 18 if you want to think. Luke 18 and start at verse 7.
Chapter 18. Chapter 18 verse 7. And it says, and shall not the Most High judge, and shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him.
See that the Most High shall avenge his very elect. You know, and the elect, we read of them in the book of Revelation. And right, the elect is the children of Israel, 144,000 chosen men of them. And he's going to avenge them. Reason being, these heathen nations walking all over them. As we read in Psalms 83 earlier, they held a crafty counsel against them. They consulted together against the hidden ones. So the Most High going to repay them. It's a righteous thing with them to do so. Alright, go ahead.
It says, let's cry day and night unto him, though he be along with them. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth.
Shall he find faith on the earth? Because despite all, faith is what is going to access that salvation. Alright? Faith is what is going to access your salvation. If you don't believe, if you don't have faith, you're unto death. Scripture says, well, anything that is not of faith is sin. And the wages of sin is death. Alright, so to access that salvation, you need to have faith. And that's what the elect members are going to have. That great faith that is going to move these mountains, move these governments, move these nations, and set the nation of Israel where they're supposed to be. When you read in the book of Isaiah chapter 2, alright, that prophecies towards the kingdom where the nation of Israel are going to be established at the top of the mountain. Alright? Beautiful to see these brothers passing here tonight. Go ahead.
Second Ezra chapter 15. Yeah, Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 7. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they prepare me commit. Neither will I suffer them. Neither will I suffer them. In those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Right, because the Most High is going to bring judgment. He's not going to hold his tongue no more. He's going to start to activate. He's going to execute his wrath upon you all. Alright, because you're exercising yourselves in wickedness. Man trying to be with man, woman trying to be with woman. Alright, man trying to be with animal, beasts. Women being whores. Being sluts. These are the things our people are exercising themselves in. So the Most High is going to bring destruction unto them. Somebody can get the book of Psalms chapter 5. Psalm not verse 4. Where that?
They say, behold, the innocent and righteous blood cry unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
And that's what we're doing out on the highways and edges. We don't be complaining. about the abominations of you people, abominations of these rulers of the world. We're protesting against this current world system. And the Most High is hearing our cry. And he's about to do something about it.
Right.
Because thine not gentle Jesus saying up in the heavens. Right. Alright? As the King of terrors. As the Most High of judgment. And each day he brings his judgment to light. But you all don't understand that. The scripture said evil men understand not judgment. You know, the hurricanes, the storms, the disasters, the atrocities on the roads, the fatalities, is the Most High bringing these things as judgment unto you people. Alright? But the day when them nuclear missiles are shot, that is the day of the ultimate judgment. That is the final plague that is coming to you people, which is going to consume your flesh, mainly to the land of America which you all love. Many of these Trinidadians, they have a dream and hope just to go to that land of so-called opportunity. You know, the land of the brave and the free. But going to that land, you're going to receive a death. Because the Most High purpose of destruction for that land. Alright, and it's even going to come here. Alright, that destruction is going to come here. Because those that don't get destroyed by the sword, the scripture said the famine will devour them. The famine will devour them. Somebody can get Lamentation 1 verse 9.
Second Ezra 15 verse 9. And therefore said the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
All the innocent blood from among them. When you read in the book of Psalms, chapter 63, say the day of vengeance is in his heart. You know, just I was making that reference really on this week. And this one teacher used to say, I just take and I just take until I can't take no more. And the Most High have been sitting there taking. I scripture said in Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, the hearts of the sons of men are set within them to do evil. You know, but the Most High is going to bring destruction to them. Proverbs 16 and 4, real quick, Baba Krishna.
Proverbs 16 and 4, where Yahweh had made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Even the wicked for the day of evil. Alright, so you being wicked right now, you're being a demon right now. It's a day prepared for you. Long rope for Maga goat, as the saying goes. You know, so you're going to run, you're going to run, you're going to run till you run out of luck. Alright, the Most High is going to bring judgment unto you. Thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So precept, yeah?
As the boat so thick, it's going to be rope around my neck. It's going to be running until, well, when you really hear to stop, you will pull them back now. Next hotel, it's tidy, rope around my neck. You know that I'm tired now. Like my people on the outside, they know that if you don't have no connection, you're not with them. That's right. That's the way it's going to happen. That's the way it's going to
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully setting them to do evil.
Yeah, so that's why they will make songs and say we jamming still. You know, we balancing. City got burned down. You know, whatever can happen, we still jamming. You know, family, everything nice and well with them, because why? The Most High is executing judgment upon them. As yet they feeling that front. As yet so they're feeling all well and good. You know, they're feeling all well and joyous. But there's a rude awakening coming to you, devils. There's a rude awakening coming to you, wicked, evil workers of iniquity.
Right.
Alright, the day of judgment. Well,
this is Psalm 7, and 8, it says, O Yahweh, it says, Yahweh shall judge the people. Judge me, O Yahweh, according to my righteousness, and according to my integrity that is in me. Verse 9, it says, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come down, but establish the just, for the righteous power strikes the heart and
so the Most High is going to bring an end to the wickedness of the wicked. Alright, he's going to bring an end to it, and he's going to judge even the righteous. He's going to judge them according to their righteousness. And that is why we come out here and do this work, to be found in the lot of the righteous. Because there's a different reward coming to the righteous than to the evil. Scripture said in the book of Isaiah chapter 3, read at verse 10 and verse 11, saying to the righteous that it shall be well with him. Alright, but it shall be ill with the sinner. You know, so all you workers of iniquity that are having fun right now, that are enjoying yourself, you know, and receiving benefits in this life, Most High is about to destroy you all. He that liveth, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. You know, so you're going to be twice dead, you're going to be twice, you know, unlucky. When the Lord brings his judgment. Go ahead.
It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these find a way stricken through for one of the fruits of the field.
Yeah, look at them in Haiti. Look at them in Brazil. Look at them right in Venezuela. They're pining away for the lack of food. Famine. And that is what coming to the four corners of the earth. A great famine. You wouldn't know where to get food from. You wouldn't know who to turn to for sustenance, for nutrients, to feed your family, to feed your children. And that is what's going to stir up the seditions of men and the invasions of homes and all these different stuff for want of bread. And the Most High sending that to humble you proud bitches. Alright, to humble you proud people. Alright, because the Most High resisted the proud, he's against the proud. When you read in the book of Isaiah chapter 2, starting at verse 11, a great condemnation to the proud of man. Why is earth and ashes proud? Something there?
When Isaiah 42 verse 13, it says, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall serve jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. Right? He says, I have a long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills, and dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and will dry up the pools.
A dryness coming. This place is going to be like a desert. And no food, water going to be polluted. They can't drink no water. You have nothing to sustain you. Because why? You put your trust in man. You know, you put your dependency on things that are temporal. You know, you put your trust in the government of this world. You know, so there's nothing going to go in your favor in them times. Most are going to offer you up to destruction. And you read in the book of Isaiah chapter 65, it says, so he number you to the slaughter. You know, bow you down to the sword. These are the things that come into you people out here that resisting this truth, that fail to return to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Alright?
This is Isaiah 29, verse 8.
Well,
And it reads, it shall even be as when an hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awake, and his soul is empty. Or as then a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, and but he awake, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite.
No, so you know what is that? That is torture. That is true torture. When you feel it eating, you understand? When you lie down to get a little rest, and you dream and you're eating, well, and truly you have nothing. You can't wake up hungry. You can't come back to the reality of things. You know, you can't wake up from that small little dream you had and can't come back to the reality of things. And that is torture. Because no food is coming to you all. All the food is going to be brought to the men of the Lord that made this sacrifice. Somebody get the book of Isaiah 65. Start at verse 11. Right.
And it says, so shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion.
And so shall they be. They'll be in great torture. Because right now we're being tortured. You know, with this, all the water that we're drinking, GMO foods that we have to eat, chemtrails in the air, that is torture. When you turn on the television, it's too homosexual. You know, you're listening on the radio, it's one of that bullshit. You know, all these different false doctrines keep arising. That is torture. So the same amount of torture, even greater, is going to come to these heathen nations. Right?
This is Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 11. It says, but ye are they that forsake the Lord Yahweh, and forget my holy mountain, and prepare a table for that troop and that furnish the dark offering unto that number. Right? Verse 12 it says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, he did not answer.
And how the Most High calling to his men. Alright, he calling to his prophets that he sent on the highways and hedges. You know, because the Most High, some people believe that the Most High one day is just going to leave his throne and show up in their bedroom and speak to them. Alright, the Most High don't work that way. The Most High works with order. Alright, so what he did, he sent his prophets out there on the highways and hedges to teach you, to call unto you, to call you. This is the church. Alright, I'm calling you into righteousness. To the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
This is Jeremiah chapter 6 and start at verse 19. Right? It says, hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor my law, but they rejected it.
Yeah, so who don't hear will feel it. You know, who don't hear will surely feel it. We will want to pass by and pay no mind to the prophets, mock and scoff, skin up all their face. It ain't doing us, the prophets, anything. You know, we just washing our hands off of your blood. You know, we here to do our work, we here to speak. And the scripture says whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, they shall know that prophets had been among them. Sure. Alright, and we being unprofitable servants, we were open to remain that way. We were open to remain prophets of the Lord, to receive salvation, to enter into them chambers when the indignation of the Lord is at hand. Right. So that when famine and pestilence come, we will be safe. But they will be working towards, we working toward our safety. Somewhere in the Isaiah 65.
Amen. This is Isaiah 65. Verse 12, therefore I will number you to the sword, and he shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, he did not answer. When I spake, he did not hear. But that evil before me.
But that evil before me, you continue to worship Jesus.
That evil before my eyes.
Correct. You know, they continue to worship the idol gods. They continue to eat pork. You know, the Most High said, well, these are smoke in my nose. You know, these are there which provoke me to anger, provoke me to my face. All these people that believe, you know, in the ways of this world, believe in partying, going to church, believe in bullshit that's making money, running after vanity. This is the Most High, this is the people the Most High is against. Go ahead.
Yes. And they choose that wherein I delight not. Therefore, thus said Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat, but he shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but he shall be thirsty.
And that is the mere reality of things. The Most High servants, they're going to eat and they're going to drink. Even the scripture in Proverbs say, well, they shall have sleep and it will be sweet. They will have rest. They remain at a rest for the people of the Most High. But you people have forsaken this truth, have forsaken the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, many miseries are going to come upon you. Alright, many miseries. As in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, and verse 50. Huh? 850. Somebody can get a read quick 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50.
Psalms chapter 4 verse 8. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety.
The Lord maketh us only to dwell in safety. Because why? We put our trust in Him. We put our trust in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. And when we look at the generations of old, when we look at our forefathers, we could see that there was none that ever put a trust in the Most High and was confounded. So it's a win-win situation, or it's a win-win circumstance when it is you put your trust in the Lord. But the book of Jeremiah 17 and verse 5 says, cursed be the man that put his trust in man. Alright? And look at you people today, you put your trust, you went and voted for Kid Rowley. And right now you're cursed. Right now you're crying out, right now you want to curse him. You know? Because why? You put your trust in him. You went down many valleys there and you put your eggs. So right now you're reaping the rewards of putting your trust in man.
We know how to do, right? And he said, I know the nation living after the income of after the energy sector. You're living off right now, the income. You understand? It's going to be completely real fast.
That's right. That's about the country income. Yeah, so these people, it's all said and done for them. As our brother said, they ain't going to make it. You know, because they set the wrong thing as their priority. Or they lean upon the wrong thing, they lean upon this broken reed. Kid Rowley don't care about you people. He about filling his belly. That's what this nigga about. And he's going to continue to bring oppression upon you all. Because he's greedy again, he all about. Somebody get the book of Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 27. That's what this nigga all about, that money. You know, that high position so he can make his money and what the country go down, drain and laugh. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 27. It says, he that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house. Trouble his own house. Trouble in your own people.
That's right,
you understand? Because you're greedy of gain. These men don't take up these offices to say to help the people. These men take up these offices because behind these offices it have a big paycheck. It have perks. It have benefits. And that is all they see, the dollar bling bling. They're not seeing the Jake who homeless. They're not seeing the mother with the 10 children that have no food. They don't have time for that. And then talking about help the people Bahamas. Hypocrites. You're not even helping your own home. You're not even helping your own house.
Worse than infidel.
Can. You know? So the Most High gonna destroy all you that put your trust in these hypocrites. You know, but the men of the Lord, they're gonna be saved, they're gonna eat, they're gonna drink, they're gonna laugh. Because when we see the destruction of you people, the Most High say, hey, I will also laugh at your calamities. And who is gonna laugh through? He's gonna laugh through his prophets. Scripture says we will weep now, but then we shall rejoice. Alright? We will rejoice. That's in the book of John chapter 16 and verse 20.
Shalom, shalom.
Second Ezra 8 and verse 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
They have walked in great pride. Pride is the number one killer out here. It beat AIDS. It beat the con. Pride is what is killing you. Wait, hey, Most High in dealing with the proud at all. But that is the ways of the wicked. That is the ways of these Edomites. Most High call them what? Most proud. So as from the time you began to be proud, you going into the ways of the wicked. And the Most High had no pleasure in wickedness.
Right. Pride is wicked again. One of the results of pride is you see when hates you.
Gone.
You see the flag.
Gone.
Pride is the number one killer.
That's right. That is a great misery. AIDS. Our AIDS that walk around the place having HIV AIDS. That is a misery. Or cancer or one of these things. You know? Somebody get the book of Isaiah chapter 2. Start at verse 11. Isaiah 69. Isaiah chapter 2. Verse 11. It says, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of man shall be bowed down, and the Lord Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua alone is going to be exalted in that day. The true high and lofty one. The only one that has the right to be proud. Because why? By his word everything was created. By his word, right now you're in existence. By his word, you're going to live to see the next day. So he is the only high and lofty one. You're not supposed to be proud of nothing. Alright? Scripture says what pride is not created for man. Alright, go ahead. Jump to verse 17. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 12. It says, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. And you shall be brought low. And what is some of the things that lift up these people today? The bachelor degree, the diploma, the nice job. You know, every time they go home, they're seeing food in the fridge. They're seeing food in the cupboards. When they go and check the bank, they're seeing a couple of thousands. These are the things that have our people high-minded today. So what the Most are about to do is about to collapse the economy, do away with the paper dollar. He's about to bring in famine. He's about to bring in pestilence. Lord, whether he could bring earthquakes, hurricanes, disasters, you know, and cripple your foundation of pride. Destroy your foundation of pride, and know what will happen to you all? You're going to be brought down into humility. You all are going to be humiliated because the money that is stored up in the bank, or your bachelor degree, the documents that you have, ain't going to be able to do nothing for you. You know what is true humiliation? One day you have something in your hand that worth something, and you believe within yourself it has power in this, and when you try to use it, you realize it ain't no power in it, or it's not working for you. That is you being humiliated. And that is what coming to many of you people. But the men of the Lord that using or making an investment in this word, when the Most High began to pour that spirit upon them, and they call upon him, all right, and they access the blessing that is within them, they're not going to be humiliated. The Most High is going to give them power from on high to do great things. All right?
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 7.
Where?
Pride is hateful before Yahweh and man, and both do one commit iniquity.
Both do one commit iniquity by his pride. You know, even the scripture say by pride, only by pride commit contention. You know, and you're seeing the contentions among the world nations today. Because they're proud. Donald Trump is a perfect example of that. He's a proud man. Look at this, listen to his speech. He believes that he always says it. We're going to make America great again. That's pride. You know, America was built over the blood, sweat and tears of our people. You know, and they took it for themselves. They run our people out of the land and took it for themselves and claim it as their own. And talking about making it great again. You know, so the Most High going to destroy them.
Proverbs 11 verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom.
But with the lowly is wisdom. And this is what we exercising ourselves in. We are here exercising ourselves in wisdom. And the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Alright, because if you don't fear the Most High, you don't lose out. Alright, if you don't fear the Most High, things not going to happen to prosper you in the latter days. Somebody get the book of Psalms 128 and verse 1.
Proverbs 16 and verse 17, it says, the highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way shall preserve his soul. Yes, pride goes before destruction, and a hot spirit before a fall.
A haughty spirit before a fall. And like the vibration of this earth right now. Like the vibration of these people. When they look, just look at their face. The scripture talks about a proud look. When they look at these people's face, they see the pride they have. Nobody can talk to them. They don't want to hear anything from the Bible. Let's live with it, we do we think. That's what you're seeing on these people's face. As soon as they bring out a scripture to rebuke them, or to reprove them, or to show them the right thing.
Right here, they're looking so like, oh.
Can't. And the scripture says the show of their countenance do testify against them. So we know for a fact that these people are going to fall. And they're going to have a hard fall. But we the men, the prophets, we outside here exercising humility. We turn back to our power. We rehearsing righteousness.
That's right.
You know, walking in the fear of the Most High. And that is what's going to deliver you from these evil times to come. That is what's going to keep you standing. Scripture says, well, if you do this, you shall never fall. The preacher there?
Psalms chapter 28 and 128. Psalms 128 and verse 1, it says, blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord Yahweh, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thy hands, happy shall thou be, and it shall be well with thee.
It shall be well with thee. When you fear the Most High and you walk within his ways, you will eat the fruits of your labor, eat the fruits of your hand. And what is the fruits of our hand right now? What is our labor right now doing this work? Pushing this truth, bringing out the gospel, the doctrine to the elect. Just as the rest of the apostles did. You know, the Apostle Paul said, but he endured things for the elect's sake. That was his labor. You know, and the Most High now power to forget your labors of love. Being undeceived, the Most High is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. And that shows that the Most High is just. You know, he's a balance for a giver, exactly what they deserve. You know, so us knowing the terror of the Most High, we prefer to be on the better side. We prefer to receive the things on the right hand side of the Most High. You know, we prefer to receive his love than his hate, than his wrath. You know, because wrath is coming. You know, the terror of the Most High is coming upon this earth, especially for those of you that received that mark. Sure. That RFID microchip in your right hand or in your forehead or any part of your body. The Most High is going to bring it upon you. Alright, you have no reason, you have no right as a so-called black, Latino, Native American, Indian man to take that mark. That's right. Just trust in the Lord. Have faith in the Lord. If your daughter, your son hungry, trust in the Lord, they will eat. You will take care of them. You don't have to run to Esau for that mark. Somebody get the book a second, just 2 verse 29. If you want me for me, I'm on.
This is Revelations chapter 2 and verse 25 to 26. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
To hold fast, meaning holy integrity. You know, keep the things that you have learned. You know, don't give in to this world. Overcome. Be victorious, because why? Out here right now is a spiritual fight taking place. And the scripture says we wrestle not against flesh nor blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world. And the fight that the devil fighting us is that fight of sin. He's trying to get us to fall into sin. How are you pushing out all these different negative vibrations, all these different iniquities that are out here? Pushing it strong so that you will fall short, that you will fall to these things. A carnival, after carnival, well, Juve, Easter, Christmas, he must catch, he's saying it within himself, I must catch them in one. But you want to overcome these things. And to overcome these things, you got to meditate daily on the scriptures. You have to abide among men that like-minded, that about the fear of the Most High. And that's how you're going to overcome. But really and truly, we have already overcome. As the scripture says, they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Yahweh Shai won it already for us, because he conquered sin. That's right. He came in the flesh and he defeated sin. He went through the torment. Satan came to him. He rebuked Satan. And that was an example for us. Matthew 4, it was an example for us. How to deal with Satan. Deal with him scripturally. Deal with him according to the words of the Most High. Now the scripture says, thy words have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Now this word is our defense. This word is how we're going to conquer these devils. This is our spiritual sword. And the scripture says it's quick, it is powerful. Somebody can get in the book of Hebrews.
1 John chapter 5 verse 4. For whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world.
See that?
And
whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world. And the scriptures call Yahweh Shai, but the Most High call Yahweh Shai was his only begotten son. But that's why he had to come and overcame. You know? And we being joint heirs with him, we being his created, his creation, we are also going to overcome, Lord willing. You know, remember that the elect are going to overcome. But these are the first fruits of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. They are born of God. Go ahead.
And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith.
Even our faith. Go get time with faith. Faith is a great thing. It is not seen. And guys who are going out with these devils, they can't see our weapon. Like fighting against a man and you see his weapon, but he can't see yours. So you don't know what angle you coming at. You know, there is a special gift that we have received called faith. You know, it's not seen to them. But at the end of it, hey, we're gonna receive the benefits of our faith. You know, these mountains gonna be moved. Somebody can get the book of Romans 10 and verse 8.
You see why they can't see faith because they refuse to come to the light. They're in darkness and they can't see.
That's right.
Their faith is in man.
That's right.
That's when they put their faith in man. So they want to understand when we say this is all about the faith. Because when they reject the light, that's right. So in darkness, you can't see nothing.
That's so true.
You can't see nothing.
Romans 10 and 8. In Romans chapter 10 verse 8 says, but what saith it? The word is nigh. What?
Yeah, that's it.
But what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth.
And the word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth, because the prophets out here. And they're not holding the peace. They continue to come out here week after week. So it's nigh unto you, it's not far. You can't say it was out your reach, so you can't, you know, I didn't know. Or it was too far from me to access. Close to you, go ahead.
It says, and in thy heart, that is the word of faith which we preach.
There is our doctrine. The word of faith. Because that is the key. The key to this whole mission is having faith. That is why in Luke chapter 18 he asks, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith? Because that's what he's looking for. That's why he asks, will he find it? Because he's looking for faith. He's looking for faithful men. Alright? Faith is the key. Somebody has something?
Yes, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 2. And that we may be delivered from unreasonable. Let me start from verse 1. It says, finally, brethren, pray for us that the word of the Lord may have free course and be glorified even as it is with you, and that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men, for all men have not faith.
All men have not faith. So, hey, you see the Most High bestow a level of faith on your body? Count it all joy. Make yourself privilege and access that faith. Use your gift. Use your blessing.
That's right.
He's so using his. So what you have to do now is use yours and fight against him. Conquer that devil. Alright, and we will go to the book of Ephesians 2 and verse 8. Go ahead.
I scripture in my mind all the time. Telling you. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5. And I'll read from verse 7, the point. For we walk by faith, not by sight.
Walk by faith and not by sight. Because why? Faith cometh by hearing. Faith cometh by hearing. We're not going to be like doubting Thomas. As the Lord told doubting Thomas, you believe because you see. But blessed are those that have not seen, but yet still living. You know, so we're not going to walk by sight. Because the things that we're seeing right now is things of vain, vanity. You understand? It's temporal things. So we're not going to walk by the things that we're seeing. Because the things you're seeing right now are going to be destroyed. Alright? Scripture say what? Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved. What manner of man ought you to be? You know? Right?
Well, Hebrews chapter 11 verse 3. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. And that is what we understand, that this what we see. They didn't create themselves.
Debunk evolution.
God. You know, they were created by things that we can't see. Right? Things that don't appear. Right?
things which, like, what man go make, like an idol.
Yeah.
World wasn't made by an idol because that now appear. We could see the things what they used to make the idol was already here.
Exactly.
We could see that. We could see a tree was already here. They used that tree to make an idol. That now appear. That didn't create the world what we in here right now. You understand? Worshipping the moon. The moon can't create it. It can't make itself. Somebody made that.
That's right. That's right.
And a big bang didn't create all this perfection. That's right. So we understand that Most High had a creator up in heaven.
That's right.
True faith.
I want to say about the question. This is Romans chapter 5 verse 2. By whom also we have access by faith into this grace.
Access by what?
Access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So what for that gift of faith? Right? Somebody can bring on Ephesians 2 verse 8.
Yeah, 2 verse 8. If I may say, right, that's the hard word, but one was saying, right? So why it is when you bust a scratch, when white is thing don't create? If it was a big bang theory, you understand? Bust a scratch, let me see something created.
Why you so in creating of another world? One to this time.
Yeah.
Even they tell you that the man come from monkey, right? How come nobody in town into a monkey?
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
A big bang didn't create all this. But I know a big bang is going to destroy everything.
That's right.
A big bang is going to destroy you devil's kingdom. That's where I study. A big bang, them nuclear missiles.
It's have a strong influence over this world. Everybody goes like that world. The cherubim that cover it. Because you say the man come from monkey, right? Hey, when you see a newborn baby, you don't look like no monkey. You understand? They're cut right here. When a baby come on the womb, you don't look like no monkey. But what? He just got that influence over the nation. And the most High is making up the peace. Goes sometimes. You understand? The most High creates like the wind. You understand?
You saw a little bit of look like a monkey. But I am not talking. You saw only look like a monkey. So that's he bought hairy as a hairy garment all over. Driven forth from among men. You are the true beast. You know, try to put our beast thing on us. No?
This is Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8. It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith.
Saved through faith. Go ahead.
And that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High.
Yes, if you don't have faith, you don't have gift of faith, right? You lost. You lost already. And all these, the Pharisees, the wicked Pharisees and the wicked Sadducees back then, they had lost. You know, because as the scripture said, they stumbled at that stumbling stone. Right. They didn't have faith in the Son. But as I love to mention, you know, a male factor on the cross. A male factor on the cross that asked the Lord to remember him when he entered the paradise. You know, that is what faith does. You know, faith makes you access salvation or being with the Lord. But he said, from this day, thou shalt be with me in paradise, to the faith that he had in him. Even when the Lord was walking around, traveling, doing his ministry, doing his works, he said to many of them that was healed, he said, hey, your faith is what made you whole. You know, so if you live without faith, if your doctrine not faith-based, then you lose out. That is why we wear that title with a crown. They call us what the faith-based Israelites. We wear it like a crown. Because faith is what going to access things, the beautiful things of the Most High. You know, somebody get the precept of Solomon 13.
Hebrews 11 and 6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Yeah, so you have to believe. Alright, because in the book of Revelation, it speaks about the unbelieving. You know, they're going to have their part in the lake, which burn it with fire. You're going to be a part of that big bang. That's coming in the end. The big bang is happening yet. That's coming. You know, and you're going to be a part of it if you're unbelieving. If you believe in Christianity and you don't believe in this truth. If you believe in Islam and you don't believe in this truth, you're going to be a part of that big bang.
Sure.
Alright? But those that believe and those that have faith, they are the ones that please in the Lord. And they are going to be saved. These are the ones that is going to be fulfilled in Isaiah 26 verse 20. Come ye enter into my chambers. You know, till the indignation they will be overpassed. That's right. You don't believe it, not just come down. That's right, sir.
You don't care about the Lord. You don't care about the estate of it. You don't care about the estate of creation.
Destroy both soul and body in hell.
I think you have to identify the apartment, the material. This is all they care about. Put the trust in faith.
So they take that and say, try to make something for people to love them.
That was something there?
Hey, they're talking about the blast. Right? This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broke into pieces together. And that represent the different kingdoms. Right? Which leading up to now, the brass is that the clay and the iron, right, which is NATO and the EU, right, breaking into pieces together and became like the shaft of the summer crushing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them, and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. And that stone is who? That stone is Yahweh Shai. Let me get that.
Have a precept of a question?
Hey, God.
Elect the government.
You get that? That stone, right? This is
the government shall be upon his shoulders.
God.
Became a great mountain. Right.
First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock, and that followed them, and that rock was Yahweh Shai.
See that? The rock was Yahweh Shai. Coming back to smite the foot of this devil's image. It's in the book of Psalm 73. So when thou awakest, thou wilt despise their image, their very image. You know?
Right now it works, right? And then we have physical. Isaiah 47, I shall not be killed as a man. Right now, smiting the foot right now. That's why I can't see eye to eye between the United Kingdom and Brexit. You understand? Clear the eye, they can't hold together. It's crumbling. Once the United Kingdom leave Brexit, there's it for them European Union. They head to a recession. Because the United Kingdom by itself is a strong nation, they're strong by themselves. So once they depart from there,
recession.
High inflation.
The money, Britain is the money capital of the
Finance.
yeah, the finance capital, yes. Because the Trinidad Kingsbury like from like Vatican, Washington and Great Britain. Trinidad Kingsbury like from the Revelation.
Yeah.
And Great Britain is the financial capital of the beast.
Yeah, right. It's a monster by themselves, they're strong by themselves.
So them leave the EU. I said it.
That's why I see in the parliament I have a lot of disagreement. Right now they want to get rid of Boris Johnson. He don't come in. And they want to get rid of him. Because he plans to get out. You understand? But what they got they said that they want to stay. They want to continue with the European Union. You know, all these different European nations, they want to continue that. But this is both sides prophecy got to come to pass. That's right. You understand? They got the both sides of how to divide against each other.
The book of Mark chapter 3 and verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if it
It's divided. You understand? It's divided. We're going down American stuff, the Republican and Democrat. You know the elite playing both sides and have them going against each other about what this is prophecy about Hashem Yahushai. Because the elites them they are foolish. You understand? They feel they do it for their benefit, but no, they say Yahweh about Hashem Yahushai glory.
that's right.
Because you fulfilling the both side prophecy. By funding both sides and let them go against each other. One want a wall, the next one don't want no wall. This is the Edomite kingdom. You can't share the wealth. So you are divided the kingdom and can't stand. We're supposed to be rejoicing. And we see the fall of our enemy, as they say in
Sirach. Right.
25.
Done.
We see the fall of our enemy, so we're supposed to be rejoicing. We see them divided. You understand?
That's right.
Hey, these are from Al Jazeera, right? These are, they say why Trump's America is more divided than ever. Like August 29th, August 19th, this year.
You can see it. You know, when Trump come in, how much he tap that he don't fire? Tell them the service no longer needed. How much he tap that he don't send away already? They show that the crumbling very fast, as Yahushua say. Try Satan of lightning fall from heaven.
I took precept of Babosha. I the one I wanted in Sirach 25 and 7, and I want to know Babosha. Sirach 25 and verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that had joy over his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
You see the enemy falling?
God.
We see that they're digging a hole and they're going to fall in the same hole they're digging. That's right. And he's got a symbol saying rising out to the ashes. You know? The phoenix can't hear the phoenix. Rise out to the ashes. So they think after this Armageddon, they think they're gonna rise out. No, they're gonna rise in their pit. I can't Isaiah. You understand? Chapter 34, I think 24 or 24. No matter. They usually are gonna be rung up and put in their pit. That's right. You will be there with the ashes. You understand? Yeah.
Luke 24 verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
You to be redeemed, to be saved from our enemy. You understand?
That's right.
To be saved. So we rejoice when you Edomites go against each other. You understand? Yep. We rejoice. And it's out Netanyahu, you know, keep bombing in Syria Syria. You understand? They made the bomb in Lebanon. And Lebanon is a retaliate. They go back to Tyre and Zidon.
Yeah.
Right? They retaliate. You understand? You see we don't know the same that the claim that is Iran bomb Saudi Arabia oil field. So they're saying that Iran is the culprit. So, you know, Trump say he lock and loaded. And Iran still ready. But what? The RFA should got a part before all of that. But what? That's just prophecy. They can hear wars and rumors of wars. You understand? But what? The ship got to become mandatory first before the nukes fly. So that all the hate is going to build up. All the hate is going to build up. Till Israel attack Iran. Because they said the least in flak shall draw them out. You understand?
I guess something for you.
Yeah.
Luke 21 verse 29. And he spake to them a parable. Behold the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand.
See flowers come down. This is ready to bear. So we see all these things happening.
Yeah.
Nation against nation, trade war, nation angry with this one angry with this one throwing talk. Right now this president is a whole thing with them right now. Everybody on Twitter throwing the threat. You understand? So everybody can see. They're hiding nothing. They're putting the threat out there. You know, so we know that Gideon is there. So we see the fruits out there. We see them pushing out, they're showing out the hatred to each other. Right. And it's all about greed. We need them, man. It's greed.
Most I make them deal.
Yeah, it's greed.
You say, so likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand.
Exactly. We soon be out to the shit holder. Hey, this is one time that need to be flushed. That's right. You say tell a bank up with all kind of shit, tell a pay for, all kind of thing. This one, this whole kind of goal that we need to fucking flush. I thought on the plantation just now, let's meditate the sort and they say, hey, we real filthy this place, man. We fucking filthy.
That's right.
There's no need to be puffed up. We real filthy. When it goes like so, right, this is a filthy rap. You understand my word? And once we spot the elect, it goes like show force, it goes like them clean up. That's right. But when we need this show right before our eyes, you understand?
Luke 21 verse 32. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled.
This thing happening in this generation. You know that stuff out there about everything is next 100 years to come. They're just like fucking Esau. Like Esau said he was 10 million years old. It's just like the father Esau. I'll tell you that time when it's billion years to come. That no, it happened in this generation. That's right. In that generation, this is going to happen. We see the signs. You understand? We see the signs. That we know the next page of prophecies in like the chip. At any time you hear boom, chip become mandatory. You understand?
Quick quiz. Slack, you finish up?
Again next.
Alright. Well, I want you to know. It's Isaiah 32. Slack, Isaiah 33 verse 2. O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou the arm every morning, our salvation also in the time of trouble. Because that great trouble coming. And that's usually why the book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 say, you know, they all will be ashamed when they be seeing these same men that they despise. According to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, he sent us forth, Lord, the apostles, like on a spectacle unto the world. You understand? And when you really go into that word spectacle, it also goes into glasses, but it also carries you back to theater to look upon. When you go to the theater, what are you going to do? To laugh, to watch a movie. You understand? But these same men that you were laughing at on the highways and byways, these same men you're going to be seeing beamed up in them chariots, apparatus.
We do this work in sincerity. That's right. So we pay our debt. We owe him the Lord.
Nah.
We can't pay up, but if I divorce you, Yahweh Hashem, you will be accepted. This is our reasonable service. Come and tell you, you're going to die.
That's right.
You're going to suffer by hunger, by plague. You're going to put to death by real sword. That is our reasonable to come to you. And the one who believe in Yahweh Hashem, they're going to be delivered. That's right. You understand? You read it. You know, you have to break a slavery. You have to be a perpetual slave. You understand? That's our reasonable service.
Second Peter chapter 3 verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water, and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. That war was talking about in the time of Noah.
The New World at the time. In the east, there was a New World. That's right.
It says,
destroy them because of what? The wickedness.
Verse 7. But the heavens and the earth which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of the judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
Yeah, the heaven and the earth is Esau rulership. The preserved unto a fire. And that's how it might be destroyed by fire. The kingdom. You understand? That's how America go down in 1 hour. That's right. You understand? 1 hour. Right? The rulership will be destroyed. You understand? And never rise again. You understand? At the time of Daniel 7, the beast was slain. And the body from that, like sometimes you're probably paraphrasing. The other three beasts, the other beasts, they're going to remain. You know? But the fourth beast, they're gonna be completely destroyed, which will be eternity.
It says, verse 9, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. That's why all these scoffers talking shit. You know, the Lord is long suffering. Right? The time that the Lord's time is different from our time. 1,000 years to us is one day to the Lord. You know, that's why the prophecies, the scripture tell you everything is for an appointed time. You know, sometimes brothers die and come again. You know, and then get delivered as a baby. See? Well, guess what? At the end, these words will come to pass.
That's right.
Will.
Somebody guys, this is 570.
I'll send me a favor, Bukosha.
See what he said it?
This is Jude chapter 1 verse 5. I will therefore put in a remembrance, though ye once know this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not.
Yes, so you Jakes out there, you so-called black Latinos that need to believe, they are going to be destroyed. They are going to be destroyed. And the ones who believe in the elect, most likely deliver, just like come deliver us in Egypt. You can do it again. As you say in Isaiah 11, you put your hand again the second time to deliver his remnant.
That's right, yeah.
You understand that scatter the remnant that can be delivered. That's right. You understand?
In Isaiah 65 and verse 17, and read, for behold, I create a new heaven and a new earth.
A new heaven and new earth is elect under Yahushua. There's a new heaven. You understand? New rulership, I say in Revelation 21. See New Jerusalem come down. Yes, so the new heaven is a new rulership, the new government. You understand? And our Lord Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
It says, and the former shall not remember.
And the former is Edomite's kingdom. You're not going to remember. You understand? I think it's saying Obadiah, verse 15.
1 and 15.
It's like there wasn't something Bible chapter.
I have our next one for you too, you know, Psalms 37 and 10. This is Psalms chapter 37 and verse 10.
Yeah.
And it reads, For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be.
Yeah, yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Because when you really look at it, you might say you're going to rule him for what, 500 years? That little while, there's half a day with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You understand?
Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be.
Yeah, you're not going to find them. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see them tail leprosy go walk around the earth again. You understand? They're going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
You understand? They're going to vanish. That's all the idea. You find it? Yeah.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 16.
Done.
For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Exactly. You understand? They will be as though they don't even exist. You understand?
Yeah. But same thing it says, for behold, I create a new heaven and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered.
Never remember? You understand? You're not going to remember the self-proclaimed white man. Right? These Chinese. These is Indians. You understand?
Nor come into mind.
Now come into mind. Because Chinese is not going to be the glory. Chinese is not going to be the glory. Right? They're going to be all righteous and they're going to be ruling. That's right. You understand? It's like Hebrews 13. It's Hebrews 13 or 4, so we seek for
Are you kingdom?
for here we have no continuous city or
Nah, enough. Can I know the precept I'll get for you.
Okay. So what happened? Just be looking up. Just be looking far and far. You understand? Hey, we alien to this world. We's alien. That's why you come past and look at me like we smart man. Oh, go get a job. Hey, we on work right now. You understand? We on work right now. You could need to get a job. Because the job y'all have is in vain. You understand? Y'all live in the vain. Y'all need to get a job. Y'all need to come back to your power.
It's 11, 16.
I know the duty. I know the whole duty of a man. An Israelite man. You understand?
Yo, what?
Over there.
Yeah, very good.
In Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14, it says, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come.
Seek one to come.
This is Hebrews 11 verse 16. But now they desire a better country that is an heavenly. Wherefore Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not ashamed to be called their power, for he had prepared for them a city.
Yeah, prepare for them a city. And let's see, get Revelation 21. Yeah, the city is the Israelite. I think it's is it was by? It was Hosea 5 or 4. The city that went down by 1,000. Can live by 100. I think it's Hosea 5 or 4. Hosea 5 or 4. There's the city. City is the Israelites.
But thus said the Lord unto the house of Israel, seek me, and it shall live.
It's one of them. What's that over there?
It's Amos chapter 5 verse 3. For thus said the Lord Yahweh, the city that went out by 1,000 shall leave 100, and that which went forth by 100 shall leave 10 to the house of Israel.
The house of Israel. So Israel is the city. You understand? Israel is the city. We so-called blacks, Latinos and Native Americans is the city. You understand? Yeah, I can get the revelation.
Revelation 21, verse 1 says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Yeah, the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. This is my kingdom. And the new heaven and the new earth is Lord Yahweh's kingdom. And saying Daniel chapter
7, I know going for that 11 and 12. I'm going for it. No good for that.
This book of Revelation chapter 11 and verse 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdom of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever.
That's right, that's right.
The kingdom of this world become the kingdom of our Lord Yahweh shall. You understand? And he shall what? Reign forever and ever. We making this up. This is what our faith like.
Can.
Hey, like I say, we alien in this place. Right? We seeking for the kingdom to come. You understand? Yeah. We just stranger. We just passing through it. We were sent. Well,
this is Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancient of days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fire steam issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set.
the judgment was what?
The judgment was set.
The judgment was set.
And the books were opened.
And the book was open. Back up the shot. That's the back up the 9.
Go back to 9?
Yeah, that's back up the shot. Back up 9.
Alright. Daniel 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Thrones and kingdoms, they were cast down. And when you go to the word thrones, I can't remember the Hebrew word it's read, but go back to rulers, men in authority. You understand? So the thrones were cast down. Right? So go back to where it said judgment was set.
Done. Verse 10. A fiery steam issued and came forth before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened.
Go ahead.
I beheld them because of the voice of the great words which the horn speak, and beheld even till the beast was slain.
The beast was slain. That's in the EU. The beast is going to be slain. You understand? Right? There's the Roman Empire reincarnation. That the beast that was wounded and come back alive. Yeah, the wound was healed, come back alive. The beast is going to be slain now. Go ahead.
And beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
There's the ICBM missile, and also the laser from the chariot, his body. They're to the EU, they're going to be destroyed. The military power, they're going to be destroyed. The kingdom, they're going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
As concerning the rest of beasts,
the rest of the beasts, it be the Persian Empire. You understand? The Babylonian Empire. The rest of the beasts. Go ahead.
they had their dominion taken away.
Not gonna rule again. The dominion was taken away. So these beasts they can never ever rise again. You understand? Because Israel not gonna go off. Go ahead.
Yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
For a season because they're going to be in slavery for 1,000 years. They're going to help build back the kingdom of Israel. You understand? After 1,000 years, they're going to get a chance to go back to their land. You understand? They set up their land society, but under what? The vibration of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
That's right.
You understand? Right? Well,
I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven.
Yahushai. Yeah.
And came. Somebody say something?
That's right. Yeah.
With the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days. And they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion and glory.
Dominion and glory. As the brother that's reading Revelation 11 verse 16 and 15. As the brother reading Revelation 11 and 15. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 14.
Yeah.
And there was given dominion and glory and a kingdom.
And a kingdom, go ahead.
That all people,
that's all, go ahead.
Nations and
all these nations, all the heathen nations, I tell you that it's here too. The heathen's going to be his possession, go ahead. That's right.
And languages should serve him.
Should serve Yahushai.
That's right.
All tongues shall confess all things going to bow to him. Go ahead.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion.
His rulership is an everlasting. As you better read Revelation 11 and 15. Go ahead.
Which shall not pass away.
Will never pass away.
And his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Not going to be destroyed. Not going to be a righteous kingdom. Destroyed. Not going to be destroyed. So that's what our faith lies. Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai not a man that shall lie. He's going to give us the kingdom. So the saints shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever, even forever. That's right. Right? That's up there?
That's up.
It's the book of Malachi chapter 1 and verse 11. For from the rising of the sun even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered unto my name. And a pure offering for my name shall be great among the heathen, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts.
Yeah, we are afraid right now. You better preach the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You understand? The name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we know the Lord right now. You believe it or not. You understand? Right, brother?
Revelation chapter 19 and verse 12. His eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns.
Yeah.
And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
Yeah, no man can fit the shoes of Yahushai. You understand? Right?
And if I may say, right, on he had many crowns.
Huh?
What he come and do? He come and take the kingdom by force.
Yeah, Revelation 11 and 15.
God, I want more verse favor because Revelation 19 verse 16. And he had on his vesture and on his tie a name written, King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
Exactly. So that's the new heaven and you see. Yahushai rulership. That we go into Revelation 21. Walking there.
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 31. It says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. So I have our next one here. These are
great mustard seed was Yahushai. Yahushai had to die for we get this. You understand? Yahushai is the mustard seed.
Yeah, these are Habakkuk 2 verse 14. It says, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, as the waters cover the sea. Our next one here is Daniel chapter... Slower.
This is we see down here, they see the glory, the wisdom that was studying Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, cutting them. Everybody out there getting cut. Even we get cut every day. You understand? Every day we get cut in the scriptures. We read it, our brother do lessons. You understand? This is we see the hearing, but what? They getting cut. You understand? They getting cut and they refuse correction.
I just want to say one thing about Bashar. The scripture saying in Jeremiah 5, that he'll make these people wood on his wood fire. So they're burning them.
That's right. These are Daniel 4 verse 10. Because it just say, Yahushua said the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed. It's going to become into a big tree. That the birds going to come and rest in the branches thereof. These are precepts about God. With Nebuchadnezzar. Alright? These are vision Nebuchadnezzar had. It says, thus were the visions, Daniel 4 verse 10, thus were the visions of my head and my bed. I saw and behold a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. And these Daniel are breaking it down there. Verse 19, right? It says, then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was astonished for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belteshazzar answered and said, my lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thine enemies. The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof unto all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong. So that means the kingdom will grow and become strong. Right. Start off small, just like how Nebuchadnezzar, the tree represented him. The kingdom, it started off small with Yahushua, as the brother said, and it just go and grow and grow and grow and become strong. For all nations to come under it. Because all nations was under Nebuchadnezzar back then. Right. It says, it is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. And that was going on with the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven was going to reach unto the end of the earth. You understand? The kingdom of heaven was going to reach unto the end of the earth. That's why he said, back in Matthew 13:31, it says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. Meaning all these other nations going and be fed off of us. Right? Going and be fed off of us, just like how they was fed off of Nebuchadnezzar back then. Going and be fed off of the Israelites. That's right, son.
to study
the tree. And the scripture says also, you're going to exalt the low tree. You're going to exalt the low tree and set down the high tree. A tree representing, a high tree representing these heathen nations, starting with Esau, Edom, and ruling right now. We're going to set them down and exalt the low tree, which is us. We are the lowly. We are the ones that are the bottom of the food chain right now, suffering under the hands of these devils. You know, and we became low due to our sin. So, but the Most High's mercies, again, is going to water us and bring us up to that standard. You know? Isaiah 2. We're going to be set at the top of the mountain, above the rest of the nation.
This is Ezekiel 31, starting at verse 9. It says, I have made him fear. 6. Ezekiel 31 and 6 says, all the fowls of heaven made their nest in his earth, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwell all great nations.
It was the time of Adam, and to the spirit, Adam is Yahweh Shai. That's right. You understand? Right? Alright. So all the nations dwell under Adam. Now, Adam was Lord in the Garden of Eden. Right? Go ahead.
It says, thus was he feared in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his roots was by great waters.
By great water. He had no wisdom. Adam had no wisdom. Right. Yahweh Hashem of Yahweh. Right? Go ahead.
The cherubs in the garden of Yahweh could not hit him. The fair trees were not like his root.
Chestnut.
And the chestnut trees were not like his branches. Nor any tree in the garden of Yahweh was like unto him.
So the tree in the garden represent nations. It's a symbol to the nations.
But quick precept at the back here upon them trees, right?
Yeah,
this is Mark chapter 8. Right? 1 minute. Let's wait for 1 minute actually, before sharp. Mark chapter 8 and verse 24. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. Let's step back here concerning the trees.
And the fruit is what? The offspring. You understand? It's just symbolic, it's a figurative speech. You understand? So those trees represent the nation. Right? You understand? So Adam was like the big, the big, most I see make it great. And all the nations dwell on these branches. So that's exactly what happened in the kingdom of heaven. That's right. And Adam can be ruling again in the kingdom of heaven. That's right. Right? Second Adam. Right? He can be ruling as Yahweh Shai. Yeah, go ahead.
It says, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of Yahweh envied him.
So from since in the garden they envy Yahweh Shai. You understand? The heathen nation. Since then they envy him because he was great. You understand? They envy him. But this time that everything not gonna work. They're gonna be in total subjection. You understand? Total subjection they're gonna be in. You understand? What permission to do?
Psalms 1 verse 3. What's that verse 2? It says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law doeth he meditate day and night.
Yeah.
And he shall be like a tree.
And he shall be like a tree. The word is he. Go ahead.
Planted by the rivers of water.
Yeah, this knowledge. What the water is another metaphor for knowledge. Right? It's like individual, you drink no water, you become what? Dehydrated. So when you feed your spirit this spiritual water, spiritually dehydrated. You understand? This is a metaphor for knowledge. Right, go ahead.
That bringeth forth his fruit in his season, his leaves also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
This is part of the fruits you see out here and worldwide. Fruits from the tree, from the one grain of mustard seed. You understand? From the one grain of mustard seed, you see it? You understand?
A man with his spies.
Yeah.
You know, he was once mocked as the king of the Jews, and as he got about the precept, he came with crowns. And once gave him a crown made of thorns and thistles. And he coming back now to receive crowns of these kings. You know, figuratively. He's going to conquer their kingdom, this current world. He's going to be the true king, king of kings. You know, so they ain't going to be able to mock him in that time. You know, he was once considered something small. He's coming back as someone great.
Right.
You know?
Revelation 21, 1, and it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was none, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the hour out of heaven. Prepared as a bride.
So there's not no actual building from the sky. This is the elect that will be coming down. Right? Yeah, Revelation 11 and the top 11. Kind of what was taken up.
This is Revelation 11 and 11.
Yeah.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the hour entered into them, and they stood up, the priests, and great fear fell upon them.
Yeah, as we see right now, especially these elites, the ones who know, they create fear. Top elites for this heathen nation, they in great fear because they know these them people are okay. They look at this and they will laugh. You understand? They're in great fear because they know they've been hiding this. From generation to generation, they've been hiding this. This is the greatest fear. Will you see it right now? This is the greatest fear. Go ahead.
It says, and he heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven.
There's the elect going to be beamed up into those chariots. Go ahead.
In a cloud.
Yeah.
And their enemies beheld them.
The enemies beheld them. And that's why they was coming down. The city was coming down because it was taken up for destruction. You understand? That's why they was coming down. The new city. Right? I think it's Isaiah 65 and 12.
Isaiah 62 verse 12. Yeah. They shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of Yahweh. Thou shalt be called sought out, a city not forsaken.
Like to see, redeemed, the holy people of Yahweh, the redeemed. We're going to be the Israelites. We need to buy back. Now we were sold. We were sold to our enemy. So the elect will be coming down, the New Jerusalem coming down. They're out in those chariots. When the elect come down, they're going to conquer, everybody's going to be conquered. All these heathen, the top elites going to be put in chain.
Right?
You understand? They're going to be put in chain and they're ready to be employed. You top elites, you force employment is burying dead bodies. And they said Ezekiel, I think it's 39, seek out men of employment.
The back of the precept, brother, I'm one read earlier one. This is Romans chapter 11 verse 2. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai had not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What he not?
Yes, like a you have a big man, you want to see them? You have you don't want to know that thing. When the both sides say they're going to suffer. Well, that's a lot.
Can. Want ye not what the scriptures said of Elias? How he make it intercession to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thy altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But basically the point was in the first verse I read earlier on. The Most High cast away people, which he foreknew. He foreknew Israel back then, and Israel is still here today. That is the reason why he shows us this mercy to give us his name and to have us out there on the highways and byways.
We serve up punishment.
God.
We serve up punishment. We went off and we get licks. You understand? You get licks. When you correct a child and he lies me do wrong and you accept it, yeah, you just embrace it, just embrace the child. Just embrace it. They are on, just embrace them. You can acknowledge you're wrong and they change. You understand?
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 40 verse 1. Comfort ye my people, saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she had received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins.
Exactly, you receive punishment. So you heathens gotta go through your punishment.
That's right. That's right.
Most I give it double because we know better. You understand? This is why when we give it to the heathens, we'll give it to Jacob.
Sure.
So we receive double because we know better. You understand?
Right.
We're supposed to lead by example.
Yep. 2 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 9. It says, Now I rejoice, not that you were made sorry, but that ye sorrowed to repentance. For you were made sorry after a godly manner, that ye might receive damage by us in nothing. For godly sorrow worketh repentance to salvation, not to be repented of, but the sorrow of the world worketh death. So the Apostle Paul was writing to the church in Corinth, because he wrote to them, some of them was going off. He wrote to them, hey, well, you're going off, but what it did is that there was feeling the feel bad. So the Apostle Paul said, well, he said he rejoiced now because hey, he write the letter that I write on to him. You feel so bad that you repented because you realized where you did wrong. Because he wasn't wrong for the letter that he write, but he was feeling kind of bad to make them feel so. But he said he realized where he did wrong and he repented. So I rejoice because there's sorrow after a godly sort. And that is what's going on with us right now. We, with the Father up in heaven, we did wrong. That's right. We did him wrong. And what? We sorrowed after a godly sort. We sorrowed after a godly sort, meaning we sought after the Most High and not after this world. We sought after Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and not after this world. Because when we realized the shit that we was doing in the world, we say, wait. And what we did, we repented. That's why we standing up outside here and praising the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? You understand? But that's not it say, but the sorrow of the world will get death. Yeah. And when all you continue, this world will die. Right? That is all.
Right. This is the book of Lamentation, chapter 5 and verse 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquity. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doeth deliver us out of their hand. We got our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah.
princes are hanged up by their hand, the faces of elders were not honored. They took the young men to grind, and the children fell under the wood. The elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music. The joy of our heart is ceased, our dance is turned into mourning. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. For this our heart is faint, for these things our eyes are dim. Because of the mountain of Zion which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Thou, O Lord, remainest forever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore doest thou forget us forever, and forsake us so long time? Turn thou us unto thee, O Lord, and we shall return. Renew our days as of old.
Your days as of old.
That song like the like we're sharing a group today. A piece of song. It's song like we're sharing the slavery ship.
Oh yeah, the slavery ship, right. Yeah, hey, scripture just say, well, renew our days as of old. After the very last verse from our pressure.
Started at verse Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 18. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it.
Foxes is these Edomites. Foxes is these Edomites to walk upon us. Alright? Mountain of Zion, which is desolate, foxes walk upon it. They look up foxes, like prophets are like the foxes in the desert. A fox is like a sly cunning person. I wish I said on the pilot, they go and tell that fox, look up fox. It's like a sly, cunning, deceitful person. Huh?
The devil is a sly old fox.
The devil is a sly old fox. You understand? So like these devils and them, they walk upon me. And Isaiah 51 verse 19 and 20.
It says, verse 19, Thou, O Lord, remainest forever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore doest thou forget us forever, and forsake us so long time? Turn thou us unto thee, O Lord, and we shall return. Renew our days as of old.
Turn thou us unto thee, and O Lord, and we shall return. We repented. We turn back from the wickedness of this world. Because why? As I read in 1st, 2 Corinthians, we sorrowed after a godly sort. For godly sorrow worketh repentance. Godly sorrow does work repentance. When you sorrow after the Most High, you say, wait, we wrong. Turn back to our God. Alright? But you people ain't sorrowing after the Most High. Or you're sorrowing when the so-called white man and give all your food. That's when you're sorrowing. When you saw him full all your belly. That's when you're sorrowing. But you're sorrowing when you have a wire, which I bring destruction. When he say he's going to bring destruction, well, ain't sorry for that. Well, ain't sorry when the Most High say, hey, I want to bring destruction on this world. Well, ain't feeling sorry and say, wait, I was ready to do shit. I changed my life, right? I want to wait till all you reach about 78 to say all you want to serve Jesus. Huh? Jesus ain't going to do shit for you. There's no 78 in this place. Well, ain't going to turn those 78 years in this place. Well, you feel all you have your 3 scores and 10 to live. You're walking up and down and say, hey, we have 3 scores and 10 to live. There's not 3 scores and 10 for you. Destruction right around the corner.
That's right.
There's not 3 scores and 10 for you in this place. You know, for your head. The 3 scores and 10. You know what Jake had to do? He's saying that? But I got my 3 scores and 10, boy. 3 scores and 10 and go and come, boy. You better wake up now, boy.
Done.
3 scores and 10 is a myth, boy. That myth. Hey, let me say, hey, about forbid. It do come. Let me say, the Lord prolong the time, because we don't know the day, right? You know what we're going to do? We're going to be still out here, man.
That's right.
Once we are alive, everybody. Once we are alive, everybody, we still be outside. Still be outside.
Come. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 8. Even of late, my people is risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe of the garment from them that pass by securely, as men averse from war. The women of my people have ye cast out from their pleasant houses. From their children have ye taken away my glory forever.
Because the brother Calab read earlier on in Lamentations 5, the children fall under the locks. You understand? You ravish the women of Jerusalem. That's life facts. You understand? And one more for you.
Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sure destruction.
As brother one now say, these people want to feel like one live 70 in this polluted kingdom. You understand? This destroying you surely. This kingdom is only for death.
That's right, you know, people that study why we complain. Why are we complaining so much, boy? Because what's wrong? Well, I mean, all are we working, all are we homeless, right?
Done.
We're homeless. We have jobs. We good. This the life that basically the life that we live in, somebody in the world will be comfortable and say, yeah, I could sit down here and hear something. I could live like that. No problem for me. You see, we come from a different cloth through the Holy Spirit. I have about some shine.
That's right.
We, Abaratas, are hope for the part of the elect, had a kingdom mentality. You settle for fucking scraps from me, so. What we have is scraps. You settle for scraps. You settle for the less. You want everything just like our side did. That's right. Yes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 17. And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. Right. For in much wisdom is much grief, right. And he that increaseth in knowledge increaseth in sorrow.
Increaseth sorrow. And hey, fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Alright? So we have the fear of the Lord through the Holy Spirit, through this Bible here. The Holy Bible. This is what teaches us young men to fear the Lord. And when we fear the Lord, we increase in that sorrow. Alright? Because we get wiser and we start to watch the world in a different way and you people watch it. We ain't looking for no goodie bags and be comfortable. We looking to get a goodie bag from Esau and be comfortable with seeing a batty boy running up and down, doing a bunch of folly. And these politicians and them just oppressing the people and them. We not going to take a goodie bag and say, well, let them continue. Now the scripture say, hey, surely oppression make it work.
Is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroy the heart.
And a gift destroy the heart. Surely oppression does make you mad. They'll be pissed off. Oppression will make a wise man mad. Because you realize, hey, even though a Jake will watch your life and say, hey, what you complaining for? You had the XYZ. You know within yourself you're being oppressed. You know that. And every time you watch the world, you see no pressure. You see no pressure. And nobody else can trust no pressure. That madman attitude. To trust in somebody who oppressing you day by day. These so-called white people and then they're oppressing you. These so-called self-proclaimed 1% in Trinidad and Tobago. Them oppressing we too.
So like I said too. And it's going to be the same people oppressing them far tomorrow. Is you oppress you, we're going to make believe for the most I use it to oppress you. Is the most you're going to make peace with.
That's right.
That's right. The oppressor.
That's right.
The most I use the oppressor to oppress you.
To oppress you.
Because you're off. You marching. We shall overcome. Are you planning every day to the bed, you plan out to fuck you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say one thing before I go on, right? Where I work, you know, that Jake, they're comfortable, but you know, it takes 2 weeks to be a fortnight. You're taking 3 weeks
before you get a paper airport, right? You understand? All lies of pressure. Pressure. Understand? Madness. And now, the way you come late, the way you come on time, but they like to pay you late. Pressure.
I have a quick piece about pressure.
Most I use the place again, we dislike this place, right? You understand? Most I don't go to this thing, but we dislike. Totally cut yourself off of this place. You don't have no strings attached to this place. That's why the most I put it to them fire. Enough time brothers working, they get them paid. All kind of friction brother got good. The most I used to do it again, we was store up. You say no, I fuck this place. Fuck this place. Yeah. Fuck this place. Yeah. You understand? That's what the most I do. The most I make it be hard. Make it be real hard. Right.
Said burning to its heart. You said it's burning their heart. And something in your heart. And you tell a girl, hey, in my heart, girl, I in my heart. They love you. But the most I take the world and say it in their heart. So they love this world. Despite them being oppressed. They're still finding a way to love this world because why? They could go on a boat ride on a Sunday. You know? They could drink a bottle of Hennessy. So that come and satisfy them now in this world. So you know they hold on to these minor shit in this world. The little city they get to suck. Yeah. That's what they hold on to. But the men of the Lord, they're seeking abundance. They're seeking true glory, true happiness. It means to be in a position of advantage. You know? Seeking life. Seeking our Lord to be with Him. That's where our life is.
Living in this place we exist in. The people start feeling they got all this wealth. But you're sick. You got one leg, you got diabetes, you got cancer, you got all kind of diseases, and you're wealthy. You can't enjoy a little wealthy out.
Yeah. So that's a good body or health. A good body is above riches.
I have a quick piece about Bokosha. You know, that's the touch back a little bit. I want to say something earlier on, right? You know that these people taking these gifts, you know, and these people oppressing the people. But this is the reason why we're here. This is Psalm 94 verse 16. And it reads, outside from verse 15. But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Who shall rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And they we out here. And worldwide, Salakia. You understand? Because going to work and a brother wait 3 weeks to get paid. I hope pressure. And your family to feed. Can't. Lay by the man from 7:30 in the morning till after midnight. I hope pressure. You understand? And then you want to watch a man and tell a man, I use him at discretion to pay overtime. That's show pressure.
I know it's more pressure. Watching fucking them eating nice every day.
Yeah, boy. Hey.
That is more pressure. You see, everybody was in that position. All nation was going through that same thing. Right. It might have been a little bit more, you know, less strenuous on your mind. But watching these dogs above you, you know, prospering daily, you know, having plenty, abundance of things in this life, when we supposed to have that, it is hurt you. It make you angry, aggravated at this place. You want to leave here. You understand? You want to see them destroyed. You're supposed to want to see them destroyed.
That's righteous thing.
That's righteous thing.
That's righteous thing. To see the destruction of your enemy.
You know what I mean? You know why our forefather Esau said, before he was then we said the foolish when I saw the prosperity and the wicked.
Just talk to my mind then.
He said that because when he watched it, he said, what the hell going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then getting through, what going on with me?
Yeah. Even in Ezra, he said, why don't we have an inheritance with the world?
Yeah.
The world was created for our sake. What is going on? I had to wait 3 weeks to eat, and I'm eating every day.
You don't go paycheck to paycheck. You don't go paycheck, you're homeless.
God.
You understand? But by the first thing, how much you down?
Yeah, man.
Still inside, you know?
Then what they do us to them, they have us down, bam. Squeeze the wicked.
You understand? They have we as the bar. Stay away from them. Them bar. They're black people. Them bar. But look what's going on with me. Look at what we're going through. People robbed and spoiled. Stricken. Despised. Whose oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. It's we going through it. And that is why we aggravated by you all. When you check out these white people, who went down with us in the car night, where they put up on the side of us.
Right.
Why you feel let us be so bummy? They know what they do to us. They know, hey, it's an anger within these men, man.
Why you always angry? Why you preaching hate on the phone? You know why?
You know why?
You know why? But what, you just crafty. You know, you come soft, like, you know, play the victim. He said no to play the victim. But the play out. Among the elect, the victim play out. You know, Kenny's name comes out here with that. You understand? Yeah. Very subtle.
Talking about gifts. The scripture say what? Gift destroy the heart. Pass that gift. That gift. See that gift? They pass that gift. That gift mean nothing. It's a gift. He's not looking to bring to all. He taking his time. He decking it. He wrapping it. He putting it in a box. He putting on the ribbon. Scripture talk about the gift that shall not profit you. Once you receive this gift, you will be destroyed.
That's right.
You will be destroyed if you receive this gift from the so-called white man.
That's right.
When they like too much gifts, too much fruiting, the wrong fruiting. Because this word fruit, more little white. You understand? That Jake, you don't line up for 5 of this, you know. They won't want to eat string, I know. I how much they like gifts. See that thing? Most I go and destroy them.
Jake different. Hey. And the greedy.
Then we now wear chip like ringing. Now Jake, you need to come with the whole, all the fingers have gold ring.
Hey, Salak, if I may say, it don't have an artist putting a literal digital player in his hand here. And he, you know the voice thing, like a T-Pain exchange the voice?
You have it inside him?
You have it inside of him?
I see that one. That is what Dr. Kevin worked, that damn devil, that damn Edomite. That is what his project was all about, that project Cyborg. Body hacking.
Biohacking and all that.
Biohack. And as I say that, as I want to say that biohack, when you do the analysis on the number, now each letters have numbers. And when you go and do the translation for it, right, you will see 666 in biohack. You understand? You will see 666, you will see 6S, 6C, some other numbers and another 6. But the two figures is 666. But that's the reason why we're here, because we're the glitch in the matrix. You understand? To the cipher Esau and the little craftiness. They like to hide it in codes. Just as how they just put it on the books. The barcode. They just leave all them 3 6s blank. You understand? But that's why we're here. We the glitch in the matrix.
Oh, you need just 6. You need to look like a
monster drink? See the monster drink?
Yeah. That's 6 in the evening.
The monster drink with the 3, like a scratch.
A scratch. Yeah. In Guyana, you make a thing from the wobble tree. It's kind of like a hook. You weed it.
A cook stick.
Cut it like with an L. Got it stick in and like an L in. What they say?
God.
So if you weed, post the grass. That's 6 in.
Oh yeah. We're talking about when they're swiping.
Yes. So when you weed with the hook, I just move the grass. Like the weed.
Crook stick, yeah. Crook stick, crook stick. A crook stick.
Okay, Esau's whole purpose is to make each and every one of you Jakes out here, make all the nations receive this mark. Alright, it says in Revelation 13 and verse 16, he calls it all to receive the mark. Alright, but then from that same scripture you can learn that there are certain broad terms have their limit. Certain broad terms have their limit, because that word all is a broad term. You know, that could cover everything. But then yet still, when you read the scripture, it says what? These are they that did not receive. They did not receive it. You understand? Because the Most High reserved them. He had that covering over them. They believed in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They didn't bow. You know? And the reason why Esau's plan to chip everybody with this going on faith because of 2nd Ezra chapter 16. We start at verse 50 if anybody can get it. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Start at 48, come down.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 48. The more will I be angry with them for their sin, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Like as a who envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity. When she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face, when he cometh that shall defend him that diligently searcheth out every sin upon the earth, and therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof. For yet a little, and iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you. Let not the sinner say that he had not sinned, for Yahweh shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which said before the Lord power and his glory, I have not sinned. Behold, the Lord knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts.
Yes, so the Most High know all the imaginations of men, their thoughts, their works, and their hearts. And this, the Most High know there is a part of this devil's plan. That's why they are written. And scripture says in Job 5 verse 12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hand cannot perform their enterprise. The reason why they're stripping going and work, to cover all, to be an old man, is because the Most High knows his plan. The Most High knows his purpose, and the Most High going and stop it. The Most High going and disappoint him. The Most High going and cause the elect to die, not receiving this mark. You know, he's going to cause them to reject this mark. You know, and that is it for the devil's kingdom. Plan failed. Huh?
Isaiah 36 verse 5.
Revelation. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Alright, that is Yahweh Shai with the elect. You know, in the kingdom. They're going to sit on thrones, they're going to be in a position of rulership, they're going to be the new government. Right. Alright, Isaiah 32 and 1. It says, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. Right. That 1,000 years is just a long period of time, forever. Right. You know, not literal 1,000 years.
Can't. In his image. They decided to take part in the one world order, and walk in his image, which is homosexuality, you understand, pedophilia, bestiality, you understand, this part of the image, this ordinances. We're not going to overcome that. There's them brother lot who will be beheaded, right? And also there are great multitude that will be delivered, who get the victory over the beast, over the image, and over his mark. In Revelation 15.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 15.
16 and 2.
1 and 2.
In relation to the 15 verse 1. And I saw another sign in the heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. For in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahweh.
How about Hashem, I will show you and make that chariot transparent. You go on the outside, the earth's atmosphere apparatus are looking down so. So I mean the bottom of the chariot transparent. You could see it. Apparatus there.
Can. Hey.
Had them in the region now. I was going up. They had us in the region, they had us as a spectacle. And that is just recompense. That's what the most are about, you know. Just recompense. Everything you do to the prophets will fall back onto you. And even worse. You got to be very careful.
The scriptures is true. You can't fight the scripture. It's true. 100% true. It's written in that book. It's true. Truth inside our That's right.
Scripture saying, and I just cause these things to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true. Hey, can't.
Most I love to repeat himself.
Yeah. That's up, yeah. So you guys are 36 verse 5.
Isaiah chapter Isaiah 36 verse 5, and it reads 36 and 5. I'm going to read 35 and 5. Yes? Isaiah 36 verse 5. I say, seest thou, but they are but vain words. I have counseled and strengthened for war. Now on whom dost thou trust? That thou...
Most I ask him, the Israelites, on whom dost thou trust? Who you trust? Go ahead.
That thou rebellest against me.
That thou rebellest against me. Go ahead.
Lord, thou trustest in the staffs of this broken reed.
Thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed. There's this kingdom. A broken reed. Go ahead.
On Egypt,
Esau kingdom,
wherein if a man lean, it will go into his hand, and piercing it.
It will go into his hand and pierce it. Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. Ultimately going into this microchip. If you trust too much in the system, this devil will come with this microchip. And it will go into your hand and pierce it.
In the name of convenience.
In the name of convenience. You're trusting on this broken reed. This Egypt, America. Hey, America is a broken system. America is not.
That's why they hack your account, your cards.
Right.
You understand? When you misplace the thing, nobody don't be honest, you give back your thing. All this part of the broken system. You understand?
Broken system. Okay, if you trust too much in this system, ultimately it will friggin' pierce you. Now it's physically describing, you know, like if you put your hand on a piece of stick or break too hard, it will pierce your hand. But spiritually, you could link it with the microchip. Because ultimately, what Esau going to do is put this into your hand and pierce it. A physical mark into your hand. And this going to show complete servitude onto this system, which is this broken reed. Once you have this, you're going to show that you're completely serving the so-called white man. Completely you give over to him and his philosophies and the new world order doctrine. Once you have this microchip. Yeah, hey, so 476 verse 10. All your trust in Esau system. All your love. It's a play to be a zessa, man. You know, you could get a little bad thing. You're a best friend. You like yourself. You understand? One a little ganja. Yeah? Player, you like play thing. You can tell what Esau. Esau what you know there. Esau, I don't know, you're soul. You go fuck on you.
Like a ball eagle, you watch them.
You play the fool. Play the fool with Esau.
Can.
You understand? You play the fool with Esau. Where do you put them?
6 and 10?
Yeah,
1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
But the love of money is the root of all evil. This is where all evil start from. When you love dust, you love paper, you love to collect it. You love to see the blue notes in your bank account. And one set of zeros behind your ones. That one has gone. 6 figures. 6 figures. 7 figures. Just a whole lot of zeros. You know? Shake like this, you know? Yeah. That's why they just bow down, take the men go up the fucking ass and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they love money.
Like I say too, they like flashy thing.
Like flashy thing.
Yeah, flashy thing.
Yeah.
Like where they see other man they want.
Covetous set up fuckers in this place. It's a lot. Well, yeah, and this going to be the new form of money.
Free love of money is the
Free
root
love
of
of money,
all
the root of all evil.
That's right.
This is going to be the new form of money. Like all you're going to do an evil thing. Take this shit. Because all you love money. What?
Which while some converted after they have erred from the faith.
The earth from the faith. Yeah, this Paul actually addressed men in the truth back then. They leave the truth because they love money. Go ahead.
Example was Demas.
Demas. For Demas have forsaken me, having loved this present world. Go ahead.
Ananias
And Sapphira.
and Sapphira.
Yep. Love and money.
Reading on. And into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction. No, Salakia. They have erred from the faith and piercing themselves through with many sorrows.
Pierce this again, you pierce yourself. You pierce again, you go be pierced. This chip going on pierce your through. Because when you take this chip, let me see the sorrows. Revelation 14, 9 and 10.
Right.
Let me see the sorrows, because when you pierce your hand with this microchip, let me see the sorrows will go and come upon you. Right.
Revelation chapter 14 verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast.
Worship the beast. What is the beast? The brother's been going into the beast all night. Nature and the EU. That is the beast. Alright? The European and the Americans. When they break it down, who really control this earth is them. And all of them is either might see down in the government, in the power seat, so-called white people, the Europeans and the Americans. The Europeans and the Americans, minus the Russian part, because Russia don't deal with America and the EU and thing. But the majority of the Europeans, the EU and the NATO, them is the ones who is the beast system. Alright? Them is the ones who spearheading the thoughts and pushing it on you people today. That's why homosexuality. Look with the arm, this side, look at right there. God, Baba Pasha Mudabadi and read some of the things. Read some of the things these people are guilty of the Baba Pasha. Oh, it's Salak, not there, huh? Look at right there. Ah, read there, right there, Salak. Read some of the philosophies of the beast.
God. The beast with 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO.
Philosophies.
Philosophies, democracy, religion, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, covetousness, murder.
Right, that is the philosophy of this beast. That is how this beast does function.
The image.
That is the image. And that is how, that is what the nature and the EU spearheading and pushing it on the people outside here. That's why all of this function like that.
Even Eve power to commit murder.
Can.
Through the abortion centers.
Can. So, the
Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, reading on, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark.
Right, so now this is it. Easy for the love of money. You go take the ship because you want to eat, buy and sell, right? So this is the market. You receive this mark, where?
Receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
Yeah, because the devil will go and chuck it either in your forehead or in your right hand or your left hand or wherever part of your body. You will receive this mark. You have the mark of the beast. It don't matter if you have it in your big toe, in your eyebrow, it don't matter. It's the microchip, it's the mark of the beast. You understand? Go ahead.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Right, that the many sorrows you go and pierce yourself through. The wine and the wrath of the Lord. And the scripture say, well, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Right? That is fearful. They didn't fear the Lord. For that they did not choose the fear of the Lord, but had pleasure in what? In unrighteousness. That is what going on with all you.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of wrath of Yahweh upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
By that new chemical destruction. A noisome what? A grievous and noisome what?
A grievous and noisome sore.
A grievous and noisome sore. Noisome, the heaven shall pass away with a great noise. Upon them that had what? Mark of the beast. This microchip in your right hand or your forehead. It won't be destroyed. Period, point blank. If you had a ship, hey, and don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Esau don't have, just like I was doing a video the other day. It's a gradual, it's a process. The thing going on unravel at one time. Just like the first car. When the first car come out, everybody didn't have it one time. But what's going on right now? Everybody have a vehicle, right? When the first cell phone come out, everybody didn't have it one time. This one in India might have it, the next one in America might have it, 2 in Germany might have it. But what's going on right now? The whole world have it. It's a process with this chip. Everybody didn't have it. But the devil going and try and get everybody to get it. But you know who will take it, as Brother Calab was saying? The elect. So the Lord protecting them men and them. Right. The Lord had them men and them in a shield. The angels of the Lord encamped round about them that fear him and delivered them from this. You see this? Lord will deliver him men from this. Why? Because Psalms 91 verse 14. Oh, temptation. Our temptation can.
The Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 8 to 9. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard. And who is them daughters? The elect. Because he say, Israel is like a comely woman unto me. You understand? That is the hope for elect, who is left as a cottage in the field. And as Brother Amon once said, the angel of the Lord encamp around those that fear the Lord. The Lord going and create that hedge around us. You understand? Abaratazah and deliver us out of the plagues of Egypt.
You understand? We are known as a lodge in the garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant. As the scripture said in Amos chapter 9, the Lord going and sift the earth. You understand? And not the least of the seed of Israel shall touch the earth, which is who? The elect again? Least grain to water.
It's the book of Psalms chapter 91, starting at verse 3. It says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust.
Chariots. That we go. Anybody have a fucking problem with that? Take it up with the Most High. That's right.
That's right.
That we hope that day your so-called black man gonna come through the skies and deliver we from this place. That's right. That we hope. Have a problem with that? Take it up with the Most High. We believe that written in the Bible. We believe that. 400 we believe that.
What's the escape plan?
Huh?
What's the escape plan?
Exactly. They have no escape plan. They have no escape plan. The guy, as the brother Taz was saying, you are saying guy in a bunker. You ain't going in a bunker, right? That reserve for the elite.
Yeah.
You have a couple $1 million you go and burn right along with your fucking million. So
You pay for the bunker. This is their heaven.
Yeah.
They control the elements, everything they control. They pay for nothing that was built. They control all the material, everything that's built. They have paid for nothing. These dumb niggas say, go to the bunker.
So where you go and escape? You go and run? And then I go and try to run the fire. You go.
Hey, hold on them. Hey, Scadians.
You go and fucking kick out.
Can you see it in Independence Day? Where they try to outrun the fire.
And then the man get burned. Hey, serve the Lord, man. Use wisdom and serve the Lord.
That's right.
You'll be safe. Why is just like people looking at you and in a spectacle? They're not. In a spectacle for the Lord is better than being a nigga outside anywhere, man. Alright? I know people like to pass and scoff. Some brothers who win so strong might say, hey, but you're watching man laughing at me, boy. You know, come out to do the work. First time I do the work. I was like,
that's it.
yeah.
I'm looking so serious.
They keep growing, you know. So wait is like nothing. Because you're investing in what? Eternity. You're investing in salvation. You're storing up your spiritual bank account. So that when this place is destroyed, you also want to be rich in the world to come. Because you have a world to come. This is not the end all be all. He saw just a fucking devil. He's a liar. Always trying to show you the tricks and this and that. This is not the end all be all, man. This is not it. This is not it. This is just a fairy tale. Go and see a real world when you have a shy and the elect start to rule. That's right. Go and see the real world, how a world's supposed to be governed.
That's what the shame. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 21. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace.
Shame which is glory and grace.
So this is the shaming of the other spectacle.
That's it. You know, just a spectacle. A small thing. Small thing, we'll take it now. We sin. I'll bear the indignation of the Lord because we have sinned against Him. And it's not even indignation. The Lord, this is something the Most High pleased to do it. Foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. It pleased the Most High to save them that. Is that 1 Corinthians 1:21? 1 Corinthians 1:21.
Save them with that.
To save them that believe.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 21. It says, for after that in the wisdom of Yahweh, the word by wisdom knew not power. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
Foolishness of preaching, this pleasing Lord. This is well pleasing unto this, what we do now, sir. As young so-called black men, Latino men, Native American, Indian men, standing up for something. We're actually standing up for the right thing. You understand? We're standing up for the right thing. So he said to what I have about some, I shall get an opportunity first and foremost. Alright? But we're standing up for the right thing. Standing up for no bullshit. We're standing up out here for Jesus Christ. And Allah trying to fucking push Allah on anybody. We're standing up for the living God, right? Standing up out here for no idol, right? We're standing up for truth, right? For truth. There's no greater joy than that than to stand up for truth, right? In a world full of lies, you stand up for truth. And this truth does debunk everything you talk. Everything you meet, you try to debunk them one time. One time you try to get caught. And you see, hey boy, yeah boy. Why you not? It's our power. It's our power. Why you not? Let me remain in this. Let me stay here. Let me stay. You know? Satan tried to come and get you now. Satan, I will stay. I will stay right here. I will do this. I will do this. I will give my life unto this. Hey. And whatever happen, happen. But I give my life unto this. I'm standing up for something righteous.
The backyard. Psalm 68 verse 11. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai give the word. Great was the company of those that publish it.
That's right. The point, great was the company of those that publish it.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, starting at verse 13. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye.
Happy are ye. Somebody started to talk shit against you for you doing this work. Hey bro, you say hey. Thank Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You understand? Because it's a good thing, that's nothing bad. You're not doing a wrong outside here, you're not doing wrong. You know like them niggas on them outside there with the pants hanging off the ass and busting shots behind the own brother for nothing, you know. You're not doing that, you know. You're doing the right thing. So if you get reproached for Yahushai's sake, yeah, why not? Are you happy? Take it with a smile. Go ahead.
It says, for the spirit of glory and of Yahweh resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of.
Their part is evil spoken of. What Yahushai said? Yahushai said, those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Because them talking evil against the king. Them saying shit against the king. Cursing at the king. Every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Matthew 12:36. So you who talking evil against the king, don't feel ain't no punishment coming your way. You have a punishment coming your way. Word.
But on your part he is glorified.
He's glorified on we, hey, on the part of beginning with the apostles, the elders, the men and them come all the way down. The last brother who sincerely believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because Brother Kara was going into here and believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We glorifying the Lord every time we come outside here.
That's right.
That's what we doing. We saying Kala Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hashem Rakakonas. That's what we just do. That we start off the videos with, that we close off with, that way we pray, that way we just do fast, that way we just do videos, glorifying Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
That's right.
Right?
Verse 15, but let none of you suffer as a murderer.
As a murderer, you're not supposed to suffer. That is where you're supposed to be shamed.
Right.
That is shame. But you know what? In this world that is glorified. It a banger. Hey, boss. Huh? Like what? Who's that? Ghost carrier. Ghost carrier. And our next one. Evil head and all of them fellas and them. Huh?
The street said that there's two kind of shape. One to sin,
right.
One unto glory and grace.
That's right. That's it. We really want unto glory and grace.
That's right.
We really want unto glory and grace. He said, none of you suffer as a murderer. You suffer like the IUIC and them. That was a straight cut to them. It's like Peter see them and write a letter.
God.
Peter like you see them in the future 2000 years in the future. He said, yeah, prophet. Or as a thief. Or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of the suffer for your house, shall I say. For the anointed sake, be ashamed of small thing. Hey, and the ground come and put more suffering.
Good.
Get an old kind of thing.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 38, he said, as for truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore.
Live it. So that the Bible is alive. The Bible alive. Like a Zach do have your words jumping off the pages. So the book liveth because it's the truth. And it conquereth forevermore. That's why Esau have a serious problem with his Bible being read. Videos being pulled off of YouTube left and right. But a twat she asked what she watched for the day. She posted what she watched for the day on YouTube. It stink, right? And she twerking it on YouTube. They're not getting deleted. And she could put 30,000 videos of that. That go and be right there on YouTube.
Some homosexual thing.
Some homosexual thing. That go and remain on YouTube. Matter of fact, them go and put that in your thumbnails. You know, on the side where you have all them videos on the side, they put in a set of fuckery in there. You have to watch recommended that for you and all kind of funny. Recommended for you videos, you just get that. That would have gone recommend for you. Out of time in video. But we videos being pulled off the internet left and right because why? The truth conquer in this level. He ain't conquer. He don't know what the hell to do. He sit down and he study, you know what to do. Because the truth started boxing in a corner. He started boxing in a, it's like he alone and all of you just marching to and it have a wall behind him and he saw and he back and you don't know where to go. Where to go. You don't know where to go. We don't know where to go. Huh? You chat dead end. You know why? Because now is the time for your kingdom to crumble. You had your time to rule. And it do for you. What you do with the earth? You bring the earth into a state where nothing can even function on the earth again. Like everything out of order. Dogs, you see two male dogs jumping each other. Right? Whales beaching themselves. The Amazon on fire. A hole on the ozone layer. Men loving men, women loving women. All of these different other things is under your rulership and you still want to continue to rule or you are continue to rule. You find you should get more time to do fucking what, babe? You want more time to do what, babe?
But the rules I said, if it is short in these days, your flesh not going to be saved. The second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 26. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitant shall be changed and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched.
Evil, you so-called white people, done away with no more.
That's
right. That's what we live in to see, man. That's what we live in to see. You Edomites be put the fuck down.
That's right.
Put down, go down.
That's right.
Go down. Stamp Satan. When they sing in church, stamp Satan on their feet. Lower? Some Satan lower?
Okay.
Wash it out.
Like cheering, that's cheering, yes. You want that?
No, God, I just want to bring out something our brother now brought out here because it's an important notification. He said this is the end is near. Google outrage triggers existential crisis as picked users scramble for alternative info sources. Panic users scramble for alternative info sources, RT reported. So it's to show that this is the truth. You understand?
Right.
You know? And just recently, I was telling brother I want that. It had a notification that they're going to shut down YouTube, which we know already. You understand?
But it's not going to affect us.
No.
It's going to affect these little boys out here.
Right.
And if there's just a boy them, that's what it's going to affect. You understand? This is back in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which has been so long without fruit shall be declared.
1447.
Completion.
Truth being declared left, right, and center.
Right.
And that's that Psalms 85 verse 10, I believe, right? You see that, right?
In 511.
Truth has come
Psalms
up, right?
85. Yeah, this Psalms 85 verse 11. And it's read. He said, the truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
That is what going on right now. Truth being declared. Springing out of the earth. That out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Alright? That is it. Springing out. Springing out. Truth stands to spring out. What should I say? Springing up into everlasting life. Alright? Let me see if I find that.
I want to
Come.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 24 verse 28. He said, the first man you heard not perfectly, no more. He said, no more shall the last find her out, for her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsel profounder than the great depth is going into wisdom. I also come out of the brooks from a river, and as a conduct into the garden, I said, I will water my best garden, and this garden is the elect, the Israelites, right? And will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brooks became a river, and my river became a sea. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and I will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all age forever. He said, behold, he said, that I have not labor for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom.
Come on. Right. I want to hear John chapter 4 and verse 13. It says, Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. Truth shall spring up out of the earth. That is it, like the truth. Alright? Like the truth, that water represents the truth. Alright? So that one spring up out of the earth. These men and them are seen all over the world. Yes. Alright? These men and them are seen all over the world. Who are the truth in them? I have an next precept here. These are Isaiah 28 and verse 17. It says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place. Like this word. Alright? The refuge of lies, the hail, the waters, them things represents the word. Sweeping away this wickedness, this so-called white man spread upon the four corners of the earth. That's right. Lies. Unrighteousness side. One next one here, this is Amos chapter 9 and verse 13. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of the grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. That sweet wine is this word. That sweet wine is this word. And all the hills melting out. When this word come out, it's to destroy this place. That will be preaching. The prophets that is one of those preach. Prophets that preach destruction. So we preaching to destroy this place. That's right. See how about Hashem and Shai. That's something.
It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 28. And verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before the old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophets which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord that truly sent him.
Yes, so that's what the prophets work is. To preach against our kingdom. So when the prophets preach, all the hills and the mountains, all of them things go and melt. Alright? Go and be brought to naught eventually, and that's what's going on right now. Yeah. Being brought to naught. Esau kingdom being brought to naught. That's right. Right? Anybody got anything else? Well, we could close off there. We could close off. So with that, we'll give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kodash. Right there. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect. Alright? Hey, our camp stay strong. We're almost out of this place. And hey, Mawat Lavabal. Mawat to this fucking black woman. What? Alright? Stink, nasty black woman. What? But that was she is a nasty piece of beast. Alright? And hey, Mawat to these batty boys, these homos, these lesbians, Mawat to this whole place. That's right. And hey, shalom to the elect, sincere camp. Shalom. Is it?
Alright, we had a president now. Finish event?
Yeah, finish event. Finish event.